Okay, if it is your child's dream to be the next Tony Perkins or Tucker Barnes, or let's not leave Sue out, Sue Palka,
Or
Gwen, that's right. We've got some ideas for you this morning.
It is Holly's summer camp week, and today she's in Beltsville at weather camp. All right, so Holly, what's the precise temperature out there right now?
It's hot. It's hot, like it's been all week long, right? Who said this telling weather stuff is difficult? Don't let Tony fool you. We don't want to forget Gwen Talbert either, because she also is a meteorologist on our staff that one of these young women here might aspire to be like one day. We are at the NOAA Center for Atmospheric Science, and Howard University has a research facility here, and they put their weather camp on every year. This also happens to be home to Fox's radar. By the way, Dr. Gregory Jenkins is with Howard. He joins me this morning. Good to see you again.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Okay, so kind of give us an overview of weather camp and what goes on.
Well, students come here for 2 weeks, and they can come from as far as Illinois or Puerto Rico, and we teach them about the weather. They learn in the classroom. We go and visit, for example, the National Weather Service office in Sterling. They talk to hurricane specialists. By the time 2 weeks are up, you know, they're all filled up with weather.
These kids are serious about it. This is something that they're really considering for their future career.
Yes, we have some students who are definitely thinking about meteorology as a career, and we had some last year too.
All right, very good. Well, you can see that the kids are already busy this morning doing experiments, but if you think this is just kind of like science experiments and class learning, think again. There's some real activity that goes into it, like climbing the weather tower. I have Deanne Grant, she's a graduate student, and Asante Hatcher. He is also one of the weather campers, and they're going to take me up the tower. See why you wear the hard hat? Because I already hit my head there. All right, good morning, you two. What are we doing here?
Good morning. We're going to attach you to the harness right here so we can climb up the tower.
Okay, and kind of give me an idea, what's the tower all about?
Well, today we're sampling air for volatile organic compounds, which we call VOCs for short, and we're going to take the sample of it, and then later we're going to analyze what volatile organic compounds there are, because when volatile organic compounds mix with nitrogen dioxide, they use the sunlight and heat, and they turn into ozone.
Sure.
So, and you know, ozone is... Okay.
At the same time.
All right, there we go.
Okay, so now, how tall is this tower?
This tower is about 30 meters, but we're only going to be climbing to around 10 meters today, where the air sampler is.
I see. All right. And so you do a lot of different experiments up here. We went up a little higher earlier today,
yes,
and you guys were doing some other kind of experiments. Was it the same checking for...
Well, there are various different instruments on this tower. They check for relative humidity, wind speed, wind velocity, temperature, different things can be tested on the tower.
Okay, Asante, did you think when you came to weather camp that you were going to find yourself doing something like this?
No, not at all.
Do you think this is kind of cool?
Yeah, I knew we were going to be doing hands-on stuff, but nothing like this.
But nothing like this, huh? Yeah. It's a little more cumbersome than I even thought as we get stuck here. So what have you learned so far, Asante?
I've learned a lot about cloud formations, how tornadoes and hurricanes form, how to forecast weather, different predictions. We're just getting started, though. There's a lot more we have to do.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Probably a storm chaser.
Oh, really? Wow, yeah. That's impressive. What about you? Deanne, what are you thinking?
I want to do something in the field of atmospheric science with air pollution is what I want to get into, really.
And this really is something that's getting ready to take you to a very exciting place in the world.
Yes, I'm going to be going to Senegal, actually. We're doing a field experiment there. We're going to be looking at the formation of hurricanes and all the characteristics that is involved with that. So.
Okay, real quickly, I only have a few seconds left. What are we seeing here on our instrument?
Okay, this is the air sampler, and this is the canister that the air is being pumped into. This is where the air sample goes into, through tubes, and then into the air sampler here, and then from the pump into the air canister.
All right, very good.
Yes.
Can we have them like deliver us coffee up here or something?
I wish. I'm
Maybe
really tired.
Yeah, me too. All right, hey, listen, we have a link on our website, myfoxdc.com, to Howard University's website, so you can find out more about their atmospheric science program there and more about weather camp if you're interested. But we're going to tell you more about weather camp coming up in our next hour. There are some experiments going on here that are important to both NOAA and NASA. We're going to find out about those. And with that, I'm going to get all the information available so that we can get one of these at the station so that Tony, Sue, Gwen, and Tucker can be making these treks several times a day. Don't you think that would work out, guys?
I think that'd be great. And Gary, too. Let's not forget
Oh,
Gary.
that's
They should
right.
all be up on that
We
there.
can't leave Gary out. I tell
right.
you what, got to get everybody in there. Right now, though, let's check in with Tony. We're not going to make you climb anywhere for this one. We're just going to...
Don't forget, local students are spending their summer learning about the weather.
Yeah, they're using special balloons to retrieve data about the atmosphere. Holly's with them this morning live in Beltsville. Holly.
Hey, Gervier and Lark. This is a weather camp. It's put on by Howard University, and it's done out here in Beltsville at the NOAA Center for Atmospheric Science, where Howard University has a research center. They have a lot going on all the time, but for 2 weeks, they have budding meteorologists learning everything that they can about the atmosphere and helping them with their experiments as well. Dr. Everett Joseph is with Howard University. He joins me. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Camp time. Here we are. We have more very interested people in atmospheric science here ready to help you all. And while this is helping them, you guys really do some important experiments here with the young people.
Yeah, absolutely. Currently this month we're conducting an experiment with NASA, NOAA, to help to validate some of the weather satellites that are operated by NASA and NOAA. So the campers are here. We're here helping us in that experiment.
The campers are here doing your job for them? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. The campers are here. They're getting, so kind of explain a little bit what we're looking at here.
What we're seeing here is essentially this is an area where we use to prepare sensors that we launch on weather balloons into the atmosphere. And these weather balloons and the instruments on the weather balloons, what they do is essentially they take measurements that we can use to compare with measurements from satellite.
This is Nyasha George. She's one of the campers here. Hi, Nyasha.
Hi.
So kind of tell me, what do you think about this whole thing? It's a little bit intimidating, I think, if you're a non-science person.
I think so, but you know what? I haven't really worked in the field very much, so this is my second time, actually my second summer, and I've actually caught hang of it pretty well.
So you decided to come back for a second summer, so obviously you're finding this camp to be very beneficial.
Very interesting, very interesting.
And
It's
what do
very
you-
practical as well.
Very practical. So what do you want to do in the future, you think?
I think I might actually go into atmospheric sciences. I've loved what I've been doing this far.
All right, very good. Well, we don't want to interrupt the experiment. You know, NASA and NOAA are waiting, so we want you to get back to it. And with that, kind of tell us some of the other things that you got going on here, Dr. Joseph.
Yeah, what the students are going to do this morning, essentially, they've inflated this balloon, and then they're going to launch this balloon. And as this balloon goes up, it has a sensor on the other end of it, and that sensor will essentially take measurements, temperature, pressure, relative humidity measurement as it goes up in the atmosphere. And those measurements that we acquire from that sensor will compare with similar measurements that are taken from satellites.
Are you guys ready to walk it out? All right. Come on, you meteorologists, you. Now, how far do these balloons go?
These balloons go up to about 30 kilometers in the atmosphere, the bigger
okay.
balloons that we launch. This one will probably only go up to about 15 kilometers or so.
Now, as far as this type of camp, I know it's 2 weeks. How much does a camp like this cost?
For the students, it doesn't cost anything for the students. The NOAA Center supports all the students to participate in this camp.
That's wonderful. So they have to apply for
They
a
have to
spot.
apply. Yeah, exactly.
So what are you looking for in terms of the students that get in?
We're looking essentially for diverse students, and we're looking for students who have an interest in meteorology or atmospheric sciences.
Do they have to write an essay or
Yeah,
anything?
they have to write an essay, and then there's a selection committee that reviews the essays and the applications.
And before they release it, don't release it, guys, until we tell you to release it. Another thing that's on site here that's not necessarily close to where we are, but is something of interest to us, is the Fox 5 radar that we both get to use.
Absolutely. We use the Fox 5 radar. The Fox radar has been here for about 1.5 years, and we actually use the Fox radar in research here. Essentially, the Fox radar gives us information about precipitation or severe weather, and we use that in some of the research that we do here.
And we use it to inform our viewers that severe weather may be headed their way, correct? All right, so now, are they ready to go ahead and launch it?
Yeah. Just release it out, the tether out. Go ahead, Nyasha. Diana.
And so what are the hours of the camp? So they'll do this all day long?
Yes, they'll do this all day long. Part of the camp is indoors, and they essentially get instruction and get introduced to various concepts and processes in the atmosphere. And then essentially come outdoors and get a hands-on experience.
For a scientist such as yourself, you have to be pretty happy to see the continued interest each and every year of students wanting to come back and learn about atmospheric science.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's, I think, one of the major purposes of the camp is to introduce students to atmospheric sciences, to become meteorologists and become atmospheric scientists.
Is there anybody that wants to be a broadcast meteorologist when they grow up? Anybody? 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 Not a one? Okay, well, Tony, I was going to say be careful, they might take your job, but now, unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to tell you that you're not going to be able to retire because no one wants to take your job. Nonetheless, if you want to find out more about all the good that's going on with atmospheric science at Howard University, go to myfoxdc.com. It's our website. We have a link to their website, and you can find out all the information you need to know. Back to you.
Yeah.